Welcome to Pompey Preview, a pre-match show for you, the fans, looking into the events, community and everything Portsmouth FC. There's a lot to explore building up to today's game, but first, who's joining us on the sofa? We start with a goalkeeping legend with over 800 appearances for Pompey. Club ambassador Alan Knight joins us. And you may have heard his planetary on Express FM, it's Pompey women's manager Jay Sadler. Thank you both for joining us today. So, what's coming up on the show? We take a look at what happened the last time Pompey played Accrington Stanley. We hear from John Messino about his thoughts into today's match. We speak to you as we reflect on 10 years of community ownership. Find out how Pompey women's team prepare for their last home fixture of the season at Fratton Park. And finally, we will be diving into a specific player in our player profile. But who? Find out later in the show. It's a big game today and our second to last home match this season. It's not that long ago since we played Accrington Stanley, so first let's have a look at the last time out. Well, there's plenty to talk about with 2 red cards, 3 goals from Pompey, and some ruthless finishing along the way. So how do you think we played overall for what you've just seen?
I thought it was quite a difficult game for us, to be perfectly honest. I mean, obviously the sending off was pretty early for their keeper. A well-worked goal for our first goal. But after that, I thought Accrington Stanley actually had a good go at us. And for a short spell, they hit the crossbar once or twice and things were a little bit hairy for a little while. But then Rico gets the second goal and I think that settled things down a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and the weather conditions played their part. We know what it's like up there at Accrington Stanley. It's a tight pitch. It's a hard place to go and win. And as Alan said, as soon as he got the second goal, it was commanding from there in.
Yeah, so let's just look a little bit closer into that first goal that we just saw. So the play starts with a ball laid off to Paddy Lane, who takes a great first touch and curls a lovely ball in straight back to the man who started the move, Joe Piggott, with a fantastic glancing header. So it's a lovely set-piece play from Pompey, much like something off the training ground. But what do you reckon about that, Jay?
Yeah, no, I think it's a great move. Very rarely do you see goals scored direct from a free kick. I think it's 6% of goals, so 1 in 17 scored direct from the kick. So to try and upgrade the chance, and it was a fantastic ball. He's coming off the blind side and it's a glancing header and the keeper's got no chance.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you. Now we're going to look at our second goal a bit more closely. So the ball's played in from a free kick. It's a similar routine to the first, with play being taken out wide. A great cross in where the ball falls kindly to Rico Hackett on the edge of the box, striking it up into the roof of the net. So Alan, as an ex-goalkeeper, was there anything the goalkeeper could have done about that shot?
No, I mean, I think it's a fantastic finish, isn't it? I mean, Rico would be very pleased with that. And as I said, I think it did settle the side down and possibly allowed us to go on to get that third goal as well. But no, I don't think the keeper really had any chance with that. No.
Yeah. Well, we trust what you say when it comes to goalkeeping. So let's play the third clip as well. So Colby begins the attack by getting possession back. There's a 3-on-2 counter-attack. He plays it off to Rico Hackett. The keeper makes a save, but spills it into the path of Colby Bishop, who pounces to strike it into that far corner. So what are our thoughts about this one? Jay, we'll start with you.
I think it's really smart forward play by Colby Bishop. I think he holds onto the ball just for the right amount of time, dribbles towards the defender, fixes him, and it's a great pass out to Rico. And what I really like is his instinct to then move off, create some space, kind of like he's pouncing, ready for the ball to come back to him. And it's a great finish by a potent striker.
Yeah, what do you think, Alan?
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with what Jay's summary there. And definitely, but you see that Colby is a natural goal scorer, and he gets into those areas, all natural goal scorers. He's there waiting to pounce, and a great finish. And fair play to him as well, up against his former team. No celebration. I think he showed great respect to the Accrington supporters there.
Yeah. Amazing, thank you. So it was an amazing match overall and definitely leading into an exciting clash to come. But before that, let's hear what John Messino has to say about the match ahead.
Well, John, frustratingly, playoffs sort of more or less out the picture now. So how are you and the squad approaching Saturday's game?
Yeah, just as normal, really. We want to go and try and win the game. Second to last home game of the season. So yeah, we all focus on that. And of course, yeah, a big sort of chunk of disappointment from Tuesday night and the preceding 3 games, not in terms of not getting any wins. So I think we need to try and end the season on high.
Is it a chance to perhaps look at some other players in your squad?
Possibly, but I think we first and foremost have to look at putting on a performance and trying to win the game, which obviously we haven't done over the past couple of weeks, and that's the biggest priority. So we'll I'll certainly have a look at that over tonight and with the team selection pending tomorrow. And yeah, if that's something that's a possibility for us, then we'll consider doing it.
How much have you and your staff thought about beyond the end of the season, or has all the focus been on our next 3 games?
Yeah, the focus so far has just been on this year, really, and there's been some forward planning in terms of pre-season and everything behind the scenes with recruitment that we're doing at the football club. We're still focused on that and ploughing ahead with all those sort of things, but at the moment we are taking it game by game and making sure that we check everything off this season. I think probably the first time the other night where we've come away from it thinking that the playoffs are beyond us. So now maybe the focus shifts and we can start looking forward to what's going to happen next year.
You obviously played Accrington recently. Can this be seen as an advantage or disadvantage, or does it not really make any difference to your preparation?
I don't think it makes a huge amount of difference. We're still going to do the same preparation from our end. And if you look at Accrington for the last 3 games, they've changed their shape from when we played them. The game will be incredibly different, I think. Hopefully a sunny afternoon in April versus essentially a snowstorm of a winter's night back then, just under completely different circumstances for both clubs. So there might be a couple of bits from individuals that we can take away and look at and focus on. But apart from that, it will largely just be another game that we're preparing for as usual.
What are you going to be looking for from your players?
We're just going to be looking for a good performance, really. We obviously want to win the game, but we're going to be looking for a positive performance. At home, we haven't really managed to string together though the sort of flowing performances from those home games, the Cheltenham game, the Bolton game, for example. Recently, we just haven't managed to do that for whatever reason. So I think a bit of chance creation, some exciting football would be nice, and that's what we'll be focusing on. Just to first and foremost put on a performance, and then hopefully win the game.
Just finally, what's the latest team news?
Yeah, nothing's changed since Tuesday night. No other injuries, so we're all set to be able to pick from the same squad we were the other night.
And there's John Messino's thoughts going into this afternoon's game. So Jay, being a manager yourself, what is it that you'd be doing to get your team ready for the match ahead?
I think a lot of preparation will go into the game, obviously analysing what Accrington Stanley do and what they're going to do coming into this game at Fratton Park. But also, I think the ownership now is the onus is going to be on Portsmouth, obviously taking a game, a few results that haven't gone their way in terms of being an attacking threat. We saw it there, 3 really well-worked goals, and I'm sure they're going to want to put that to fruition on Saturday.
Yeah. And what about you, Alan? Are you confident about today? I mean, how do you think John will approach this game?
I think he'll approach it. He'll want to go out. He'll want to obviously win the game. Like Jay said, they would have done their homework on Accrington. As I said, Accrington made it difficult at their place. They're fighting for their life as well, a little bit. So it's never easy at home. Teams will come, sit deep, make it difficult for us. But I'm always confident when we're at home, and I feel that we do have the ability to break them down and hopefully go on and win, you hope, comfortably, but I'll be happy with a 1-0.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time, Alan. We really appreciate you coming along today and being part of the show. And Jay, we will see you after the break as well. So still to come, we look at 10 years on from a community ownership. We find out how Pompey women's team are preparing for their last game of the season, and we will see who's been under the floodlights in today's player profile. All after the short break. We'll see you then.